It's been tempting lately to conclude that Apple doesn't have it anymore, and tablets in particular is where Cupertino does need to silence the prophets of doom and gloom after an iPad 4 that was more like a 3.1, and a mini that should have had a Retina display to begin with. They could have done a lot worse than borrow a line from MacBooks, but the Air signature isn't just a Puerto Rico stunt. It would be hard to believe it's the first time an iPad Air crossed anyone's mind as a cool name for a tablet, but by the looks of it, the iPad Air is very well the first that actually warrants it. Just sounds right, doesn't it? And the iPad Air will definitely need all that crowd pleaser ring when the fresh iPad mini with Retina display finally starts hitting the shelves. With Nexus tablets around, usual suspects Samsung, the new Surface, and now even Nokia on the list, an iPad has never arrived as such an unfriendly welcome. Yet, if Apple has done its job right, the Retina flaunting mini will likely be the biggest threat. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and give the iPad Air a proper introduction. Easily one of the hottest pieces of hardware we've seen deserves it. Honestly, to say that a diet was all the iPad needed would be a massive understatement after the iPad 4, which deservedly gets retired. But the way the iPad Air looks is a start made in heaven. The Air is almost 2 mm thinner and has unbelievably lost near a centimeter on each side. It's mostly screen bezel that's gone. The weight difference is the whopping 183 grams. The screen the same gorgeous 9.7 canvas with 2048 by 1536 px resolution along with the impressive loss of weight. The iPad Air has really stepped on the optimizations. There is a smaller battery powering the tablet, but Apple promises the same 10 hours of battery life as before. The brains behind the tablet are the same as on the iPhone 5's a class-leading 64-bit dual-core A7 chip that should be twice as fast as the predecessors. The GPU is even a little more capable than on the iPhone. In keeping with the bigger display and higher resolution, Apple introduced the Retina display back in 2012 on the third-generation iPad and hasn't increased the resolution since. The competition has meanwhile caught up, with Samsung-made droids inching forward with tablet displays of 2560 by 1600 probing 300 pi. The iPad Air has to make do with a smaller battery than the 1560 mAh behemoth found in the iPad 4, but Apple still claims 10 hours of web browsing. The new battery is a 32.4 Wh unit compared to the 42.5 Wh of the predecessor. Apple iPad Air is running on the same chipset the Apple used within the iPhone 5's the A7. It's company's first 64-bit mobile system on a chip, and as usual Apple claims it is twice as fast as the previous A6 chip. Last year saw two 9.7 iPads announced, but the difference between them was insignificant. The iPad 4 only drew people who were late to buy the iPad 3. The Apple iPad Air, the fifth model in the line, is a major upgrade over the previous models.